Testing 1 2 1 2. Welcome to House Culture Conversations. Whether you are on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, we are happy to have you this evening. Your host, DJ D Lot. Always a pleasure to see everybody. We have an amazing conversation tonight. I've been looking forward to this for a minute. Man, we're just going to have the opportunity to talk about so much good stuff. You know, the music and the culture that we love, but we came up at the same time in the Chicago area, and we talk about house being the birthplace, or Chicago being the birthplace of house and that kind of thing. But it's more than that. And I'm just excited to have this conversation with our guest, Disco Darrin. So let's bring him on in here. Disco Darrin, what's good? I'm not hearing you yet. Oh, there you go.
I know you got me now. Okay, you had to bring everything over, brother.
That's it. How are you?
Had to get everything. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Man, I am feeling good. It is just awesome to see you. I see you on Twitch every Tuesday doing your thing, but to be able to sit down and ask you some questions, because I know you do a lot of question asking, but
I do a
tonight we're
lot of
going to get a
question
chance.
asking, man. I do a lot of questioning. You ain't lying, Eli. I do a lot of questioning.
Hey, well, while the fam is assembling, I see them slowly coming in here. Tell us a little bit about you. Take your time. Where you from?
Chicago, Illinois, South Side, Jeffrey Manor. Born and raised, brother. Born and raised in the Jeffrey Manor. Um,
Now, folks don't know a lot about Jeffrey Manor. When we
okay,
think about
right.
Chicago, people don't understand. It's like a bunch of mini cities all in one.
You know what? Jeffrey Manor, it is a small little, I want to say cu- cul-de-sac, but not really. It's a nice little small, like, London town. For people who are not familiar with Chicago, like London town and different little areas, everybody has their little area. That's how Jeffrey Manor is. Jeffrey Manor goes from, for people who are not familiar with Chicago, Stony Island, 95th Street, Stony Island, 103rd, Torrance Avenue, uh, yeah, 103rd, 106th, yeah. All that's Jeffrey Manor.
Amazing area of the city. Now, I grew up in what was called Pill Hill, right
Must be
there on
nice to
that.
have money.
So that's
Must
what
have been
they
nice.
said, but I was broke, man.
Yeah,
I must
okay.
have been
No,
on the
you was
outskirts.
broke. Mom and daddy wasn't broke. Come on now.
Hey, SpongeBob Dave, we see you, Crazy Berry Town. We see you. That's my jam. Welcome on in. We are just getting started, getting warmed up with Disco Darrin. Now, did you come from a musical household, musical family?
My mom and dad always had some sort of music. My dad went to DuSable High School.
Mm.
And my father was always the one that was cracking jokes and doing little skits around the house. Uh, he went to this place in Chicago called Budland. I don't know if anybody remembers that. This is way before you and I. It's called Bud. It's on 43rd. That's where my dad grew up at. And my dad was in a little musical, well, not musical, like a little skit kind of group. And
Mm.
um, he always, always played music at home. Always. My dad used to go to Joe's record shop. I don't know if anybody remembers that from Chicago. Joe's record shop. It was on 63rd and King Drive. Joe's Records. My dad used to see. My dad is a give you a little history on my dad. My dad is a 30-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department. He is an 8-year veteran of the United States Marine Corps. So my dad worked in different areas. A lot of people knew my dad coming up. And my father was always around music, always around music, always. So my dad used to get albums and bring them home. And I didn't know no better, man. I was just listening to music.
Now, did you
I
guys
didn't.
have the hi-fi?
We had the high fi, the low fi, the mid fi. We had the one, man, where you put the records. The record, it had a cover on it. My dad also, I believe my dad was part Jamaican, man. My dad had 3 damn jobs. Why he had 3 jobs, I don't know. My dad, we didn't need him to have 3 jobs. My dad worked for the police department. He worked for um, turnstile security. I don't know if you see, you guys don't know about turnstile. I know
Turnstile.
Adila, you know about
Everybody's like,
turnstile.
I know about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. You know about turnstile. Turnstile, turnstile went to ventures. Ventures went to
They don't
Target.
know about that either. They don't know
They
about
don't know about that. So my dad worked security there, and my dad also worked at US 30 drag strip. That's where I got the love from cars from, drag racing and stuff from my dad. So we always had, my dad was always bringing records home, music, LPs. We used to play them records, man. And my thing when I was younger, I was skating. So I was getting into James Brown,
Mm.
the JBs. That's all we skate off was JBs. So my dad was bringing home. I don't know if you remember, man. They had the album with the. It came with two. James Brown always had you. You would open it up like a book, and it had two albums on. It was, man. James Brown always had two albums. Man, we had so much music.
Yeah,
D-Lock,
it's
it was
funny that you mentioned
crazy.
that because I used to see the music when Prince put out music. He'd have a lot of two albums.
Yeah,
And I didn't
yeah,
realize, that really came from people like James Brown that was dropping, music. It
yeah.
wasn't just like I got six songs. He was like, nah, nah, I got joints. I got joints. Now,
That's where it came from. That where it
now
came
we.
from. James Brown had the like it's the Candy Lady said it's a double compilation.
Mm-hmm.
Had them albums, man. We had uh I remember this one album from the Brothers Johnson, Strawberry Letter
Mm-hmm.
22. The album was red. I got that upstairs. I have it. I have all my daddy's stuff plus my own music. I got everything. I kept it. And
So
didn't know that
now,
that stuff, huh? Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Finish your statement.
You know what? Didn't know. I didn't know at the time that that stuff was going to be, what it is now. Never knew what it was going to be. Never knew what it's going to turn out to be. Didn't know anything. Didn't know it was going to turn into be deep house, which is,
Mm.
as we know here in Chicago, deep house is disco here in Chicago. And I'm going to say this before we even get started. I don't care what nobody says, what you all have heard, what you all think you might have heard. I understand everybody knows what's his name? I can't think his name right now. Anyway, uh,
Oh, you're talking about house songs?
yeah, no, DJs.
Oh, DJs. Okay. Okay.
Um,
Frankie Knuckles. You're talking about
I
Frankie?
don't know. See, my mind's
My,
Frankie
right.
Knuckles. Frankie
Mhm.
Knuckles. Frankie Knuckles. Frankie Knuckles. Frankie Knuckles. Let me tell you all something. If it wasn't for Ron Hardy, who was my man, who was my dude, who brought, I knew Ron when he was just Ron in his mama's garage, reel to reel. Didn't know who this dude was. So my partner said, "Man, let's go over and see my man over there spinning." I said, "Where we going?" Going over to see this dude named Ron. Oh, well, who the hell is he? I don't know. Okay, let's go over there. This dude had reel to reel turntables. He was spinning just some regular records, disco. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, and that's okay. Because then at the time, if you remember, the Hot Mix 5 was going.
Mm-hmm.
So people think that nah, Ron Hardy. If it wasn't out for Ron Hardy, taking away nothing from my man, taking away nothing from Frankie Knuckles. I met Frankie, taking nothing away from Frankie. If it wasn't for Ron, God rest his soul, it would be house music would have been later on here in Chicago. Ron
Wow.
started it all. Ron
Now,
Hardy started it all.
And now, and so what's interesting about that is you're not talking, from what you heard, you were there.
I was there. There. I wasn't, I was there seeing Ron. I met Ron. I met all the DJs, man, when I was coming up. I used to go, this is a funny story. Um, 16, 17 years of me and my boy, Big Mike, Mike Simon, my boys, my partners, man, we was down at the music box. We had no business in the music box at 16 years old. No business. So the owner was Mr. Williams would not, he said, hey, keep these boys upstairs, Ron. They cannot be on the floor because it was 25 and up. He would lose liquor license and everything if something happened to us. Keep them upstairs. So that's how I got to watch Ron play. I got to actually watch this man play. I mean,
And you
sit
were
right
behind, so
there.
you were behind the scenes, right there,
I
right
was
next to him as he
I
was
was
doing his thing.
right there with Ron doing his thing. 16, 17, 18, 19 years old when I graduated. They couldn't find me. Where was we at? Down on the floor. Down on the floor, man. And people don't know, growing up in Chicago, this is the home of house. This is a home of house. Frankie Knuckles, I got all that. I got taken away from Frankie. Ron built this. Ron Hardy built this.
Now we had a question from SpongeBob Dave. He
Okay.
asked if there was one track that made you fall in love with house. Now I want you to take your time on this because what you're explaining to us is that
Hmm.
house, before house had a label or things like that, we was playing disco tunes that
That's
was
it.
was house parties,
That's it.
and so people think that there was this thing that happened and it was house. It's like,
No,
no, we were
no.
rocking to all kinds of music, a lot of disco, some euros, some punk
Yep.
out, some other things, and so take your time with that one. Was there one track that made you fall in love with house music?
Jamie Principle, waiting on my angel.
Mm.
I love Jamie Principle, man. That was dope. Jamie is still around, still here. See him every year at the Chosen Few. Still here. Um, one of my favorite tracks, man. Dinosaur L.
Oh yeah.
Go bang. Woo woo.
Hmm.
Man. A lot of people don't know about Dinosaur L. I
Now
got the
did you hear that down at the music box?
I you know what? Yeah, he would play it.
I'm
He
wondering
would
what
play
that
it.
sounded like at the music box because people go to clubs today and it's just the sound is just it was. I mean, I could hear it 10 blocks down from the music box.
Man, man. D-Line, we used to come out, go to the music box, man, and just get there. We leave one part. We used to leave Mendel and go down to the box. Get down to the box, man, and party and come out of there, man, raggling a soup sandwich. You ever get you two pieces of bread, pour some soup in between it. That's how raggedy we was when we come out of there. You was raggedy when you come out of there, man. You was raggedy. We had to take a change of clothes. I used to get home from the box and I was still a teenager, still at home, hadn't went away to school yet. And my mother was still washing my clothes. She was like, Darren, why is your underwear blue? Why is your underwear blue? Because you wore at the time guys wore cut off
Hmm.
jean shorts and that dye. I said, Mama, that's just from. She said, why are these clothes wet? Why are they wet? I'm like, it's dancing, Mom. We were dancing. We were dancing, man, in the box, man.
Now, did you, this was I didn't do it a lot, but the experience definitely took me to another level in house dancing with the speaker.
Oh man. There, going to the box, going to another place I had no business going was to the power plant in the warehouse. I had no business in there, D lot. That was the first time I seen a 6'7" woman that was a man. I did not know anything about that. I did not. First time I seen two men kiss. I didn't know anything about that. Didn't know, and I was like, man, I was having a ball. I was having a ball. Now that's when I met Frankie.
Mm,
So to me, to me, house music is Ron Hardy. To me,
mm-hmm,
I don't care what you can do. A lot of this stuff you hear. I'm in a rare disco as well. I like rare stuff. You come on my show, I have on rare tunes. And I have a whole nother community that I get music from, and it's just a whole nother experience. I know New York and Chicago.
mm-hmm.
I met Larry Levin when he came here. I don't know if you remember this. Larry Levin and Ron Hardy was at the Bismarck. They were at the Bismarck Hotel. Man, that place, you had people from New York and Chicago. I was 21 years old when I went there, man, and both of them dudes turned that place out.
That had to be
Man,
something. I
man,
wasn't there. I could only imagine.
man. And Larry Levan is the Ron Hardy of New York. Was the Ron Hardy of New York. You know, he played at the Garage in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a chance to go there, but I would have loved to have went to the Garage. Love to have went to the Garage.
We're hanging out with Disco Darrin, and quite frankly, we are just getting started, scratching the surface, just starting putting some
Right.
context around the early days. We're
Yep.
gonna move it forward, but I
Yeah.
think it's real important. If you've been a fan of House Culture Conversations, you've
Right.
heard us have several conversations about the origins of house. Some people talk about the first house song and this, that, and the other, but it's really about the music and the experience. And to your point, Ron was doing that before others came on the scene. Now,
Yep.
what would you say is the contributing factor to house's longevity? I mean, it's 40 something years later. We're still talking about house. House has not, in my opinion, been diluted. It's still underground. I know there's some mainstream people that try to do
Right.
it, but it's still
Right.
ours. It's still
It's
our
still
music.
ours.
Hmm.
It's still ours. Our music, yes. For me, you have DJs like yourself and my buddy Jerome O. That is my man. Jerome O. Bunch of other DJs out here, man, that I know. Uh, my man Yurik is in there.
Yeah,
Yurik is a DJ.
that's it.
Yurik's a DJ.
Mendel Monarch, by the way, Blue Smoke.
I understand, man. Look, don't have me get off here, man. Don't have me press. Don't have me get off, man. I wish I had my Mount Carmel stuff. I can't fit it no more, man.
We're gonna talk
I,
about that. We're gonna talk about that.
yeah,
We got
buddy.
so much to talk about. So y'all just
Right,
stick and stay. Darren and I have been talking about this, and how
right,
much fun we just have talking about the music that we love, the culture that was created because of this music. And Darren, let me also pivot because we both came up at the same time.
right.
What people don't understand about the movement of this music is that it came at a time when we needed it, because Chicago
Exactly,
was a dangerous place. People don't realize, we talk about house and all that, but it was also providing a safe haven for many types
exactly.
of people. For us, we were, they brought the music box and these clubs, right? A warehouse and all that. They were for older, young
Right,
adults, 25 and up, and they were
right.
private. And they were for people actually that, a lot of the gay community had a place where they could express themselves. But guess
Exactly.
what? We needed that place too.
Right. We had we went to Mendel for parties, man. We went to Mendel High School for parties. We went to Mendel. Uh Our Lady Gate of Heaven, Elizabeth Seton, they used to have their parties. That was our sister school. Um What's the school on 95th for the girls? All girls school on 95th Street. I
Was that
forgot the name of that
Longwood?
school. Longwood, they had
Hmm.
parties. Man, they used to have parties. So we had to have 17, 18 year olds. We had to have our spot. My like the first time I went to my first party to go listen to house music, I got out of school early. It was a lady that I knew, well, young lady friend of mine. She said, Darren, we're having, see, kids don't do this anymore. In public high school, they used to have sock hops from ninth to 11th period. They used to do that. We never did with Catholic. We never did do
Right.
that because we was
Yeah.
all boys. That was kind
Hmm.
of weird if we did that. That'd be freaking weird. Um, so my girl, she went to CVS. She said, "Hey, we having a sock hop today," which was actually a party from ninth to 11th period. I said, "Man, I can't get in your school." She said, "I'm gonna get you in." That's the first time I start hearing um I want to say music like on WBMX used to play.
Hmm.
WBMX and all that stuff, man. I went in there. I went in that place in that high school. Had no business in that high school. I didn't go to the school, man. The gymnasium was packed with young people having a good time. Wasn't nobody doing nothing stupid, no gang bang and none of that foolishness that they do now. Excuse me. And it was first time I heard um what's this song, man? I can't think of this name of this song, but it's stuck in my head. I had it. If I can find it, I'm gonna grab it. Um, this dude played this song, man, and I was like, yeah, I had a ball, and that's what took off for me. Then WBMX wasn't out yet.
Hmm.
Then BMX came, the Hot Mix Five, Saturday Night Live, Ain't No Jive, Chicago Dance Party,
Ain't no jive, and it wasn't no
Chicago
jive.
Dance Party.
Whew.
Let me see if you can name all the DJs.
Me?
Yeah, no, okay, come on.
Wait. Well, you know we had Farley.
We have Farley,
We have
Scott
Farley.
Seals,
We have
Scott Smoking
Ralphie. That's
Seals,
still Ralphie Rosario.
Ralphie Rosario, Kenny Jam and Jason,
Right? And then
uh, um, Scott
somebody in the
Dog.
chat. Somebody in the chat put number 5. Y'all with us? Y'all were there?
Did we say Scott Seals? Scott Smoking
Yes, 5.
Seals.
Yeah, you had
That's the
him.
five.
Got the 5.
That's the fifth
Okay,
one. Scott Seals.
that
And
stuff was fire.
and I was working at McDonald's on 95th Street. I had saved up all my money and went downtown. Back in the day, you can go downtown to the radio store. I bought a JVC boombox with the handles on the side. It was $275. I got my
That was a
ass
big
on the
penny.
red line with a radio. I was looking to get stuck up, but
I
then
know.
nobody bothered me. I was on the red line with a big JVC radio box. Then nobody bothered me.
Hmm.
Back then, you could do that. Dude, won't nobody bother. I went down there to the place, got it, brought it home. I had to buy 296,000 batteries to put in that thing. It seemed like I had to buy that thing took 12 D batteries.
Ooh, I remember they
12
used to take a lot of batteries.
man, 12 D batteries. And my
Candy
mother
Lady
was like,
said. Candy Lady said we missed Mickey Mixon Oliver.
Mickey Mixon Oliver. Mickey Oliver. There you go. Mickey Oliver.
Yes, yeah. Chill Hill 1342.
What's up, Carmen? That's my mod right there.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for vibing with this House Culture Conversations. We would Disco Darrin, and we might be here a minute,
Man.
y'all.
Yeah.
We ain't got out of the first question yet, y'all. But having so much fun talking about the culture and coming up in a time where house music was so important in the Chicago
Exactly.
area to so many different groups of people. Why do you
Right.
think it's still thriving today, Dan?
It's just with all the for me, I think it's all the different DJs, all the different now it's different. I want to say genres of house music now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is different. Some of the house that I hear some of the DJs play, I'm like, I don't like that. But it's house music. It's house to them. Everybody has their different version of house. It's techno house and all that other stuff. All that techno house and okay, I get that, but I want to hear the stuff that I came up on. I want to hear what I came up on. And it's kind of hard to hear that. Everybody has re-edits and remixes now.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody plays originals really. Nobody really plays originals anymore. Um, One of the Hot Mix Five is actually on Twitch.
Mm.
One of the Hot Mix Fives is actually on Twitch, and I think is it Scott Seals?
I don't know. I have to look, keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, Scott Seals. I think it's Scott Seals that's on Twitch, and he plays all his old stuff from WBMX. He plays
Mm-hmm.
some new stuff. He'll play disco, but he play a lot of his old stuff.
I'm so sexy in the building. How you feeling?
A lot of people don't remember D Lot. We used to go down in the mid '80s in the summertime down in Hyde Park by the point.
Oh
There
yeah.
was a DJ down there on Sunday evenings behind the museum. Guess
Mm.
what that used to be? Now, people don't realize that that little group that started behind that museum is now the chosen few.
Chosen few picnic. That's it.
That is the chosen few. That is the chosen few. People like, no, man. I said, bro, when I went down there, it used to be 25 people down there.
Now look
25
at
people behind the museum on a Sunday afternoon. Then it
now
went got
25
bigger. Then it
tops.
got bigger. Then
Mm-hmm.
the city got involved. That's when it really got crazy when the city got involved. Then it went haywire after that. Um, just going down there on a Sunday, I had I was preppy back in the day. I was a prep. I was preppy.
Wait, hold on. I gotta say hello. Art said it's Scott that's still on. Art
Yeah,
said it's Scott
Scott
that's
Seals.
still on, right? So
Yeah.
you were preppy, but
Uh-huh.
talk about how important fashion was in the culture.
Man, you were a the deep house dudes they have on the big coats with the belts on and the boots. I'm like, I ain't ready for that one yet. Then you had just the regular house cats. Now the deep house dudes were the disco dudes. They were
Mm,
into disco. That what remember what I said? Deep house, disco
yeah,
was deep house. Me, I was still young. I was still into BMX. So I became I was preppy.
yeah. A lot of the high schoolers, played that preppy.
Man, every
Levi's
check
and
I
polos.
every check I got, D Lot, I was over at Evergreen Plaza.
Mm.
I had penny loafers, put quarters in them, Levi's, Argyle socks, or sometime in the summertime, no socks. Uh, Izod's,
Mm-hmm. Azad was on the scene.
Izod's, which is now Lacoste now. Izod is something else now, but it was Izod with the alligator on
Mm-hmm.
it. You
I
had to have a backpack. You had to get your backpack. I had to have
Eddie
my
Bauer.
backpack.
You had if you was legit, you had the Eddie Bauer. Now I didn't
I
have
had
the
an Eddie
Eddie
Bauer
Bauer.
bag. I should carry my polo green cologne, so I smell it. Walk
That's
around
it.
smelling. My daddy used to say, "Why do you put all that cologne and walk around smelling like a Harlem sissy? Why do you got all that on like that?" I didn't know no better.
That's-
I mean, spraying it. My daddy say, "You walk around smelling like a Harlem sissy. Why do you got that on like that?" I didn't know no better. I didn't know no better.
oh my gosh! I already said he had the Zodiac shoes. Remember Zodiac?
Did I Zodiacs? I can't remember
Yeah. Now
Zodiacs,
those
man. I
probably
can't remember.
moved more into that those dudes with the big belts and the big coats.
That's what
Yeah.
Zodiacs. Okay,
Mhm.
so some of that stuff I couldn't afford until I got older, like the GA jackets, them bomber jackets, them things
Oh
were
yeah.
expensive. I couldn't afford that working at Mickey D. So I had to get the Levi's and the cut off jeans. People don't realize Nike track shoes. Nike track shoes was in. They weren't the 95s. They were Nike track shoes, just track running
Mhm.
shoes.
That's it.
Had your Nike track shoes.
You had
You
your
put
Nike
on two
track
big
shoes,
bottles,
or you had
huh?
K Swish, or you had Tree
I had some
Tones.
K Swisses.
Mm-hmm.
I had some Swisses. A lot of people don't know about these. I had some ponies, some white ponies with the green
Oh,
swish,
yeah,
the
yeah,
green
yeah.
ponies.
Mm-hmm.
They were all man. You had to have those. So my night getting ready to go out back in the day. All depends on where I was going. Have on my either my K Swiss or my gym shoe or my Nike track shoes. I had on 2 bottles of Vaseline on both my legs because I had to have them nice and oil. Because I had big old football. I still got them. I still got my big old football player legs. And I had on my polo shirt, my jacket, my backpack. I was in the putting on a cologne. I spread a whole half a bottle of cologne. I was going through about 4 bottles of cologne a week, I think. And man, my buddies would come pick me up. I had a 1975 Opel Manta GT. If anybody want to Google that car, 1975 Opel Manta GT, yellow with a black stripe up the middle, and I had the fold back sunroof.
Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Had
Oh,
a
you
fold.
was you was kicking
No, man, I paid $700 for that car. That man should come in McDonald's. And
it.
one day I asked him, I said, "Sir, do you ever want to sell that car?" He was like, "I never thought about it. You like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like that car." So we were talking. He asked me what schools I going to and stuff, and he asked me how my grades was. I said my grades are good. No, it's a Buick Opal, Opal,
Mm-hmm.
Buick
Yeah,
Opal,
yeah,
not Oldsmobile,
that
Opal.
Oldsmobile. I
And
drove an Oldsmobile, Cutlass Salon.
yeah, and I paid $700 for that car. And D-Lot, I wasn't. I was a junior in high school. I was not supposed to have that car. I had to park
Mm-hmm.
that car 3 blocks down and 2 blocks over. I could not. I could not because I only thing I had was a learner's permit. I did not have a driver's
Mm-hmm.
license. I had none of that. So I had to park the car 3 blocks down and maybe a block over and walk home because my daddy told me you cannot have a car yet. But
Oh my.
hard headed ass Darrin, I had to have a car. So the car didn't have a sound system in it. I went to Ventures somewhere where my boys was and bought the whole Sparkomatic radio set. It came with the 4 speakers and the radio and the EQ for $99.95. It sounded like you was in there cooking frying eggs when you turned all the way up. You couldn't tell me my sound wasn't banging. You
Oh my
couldn't tell
God.
me. You
I can
couldn't
only
tell me.
imagine. I can only imagine. That is
And this
classic.
girl I know, you remember Renault Lecar? You remember them?
Mm-mm.
Renault Lecars. There was the little
Mm-mm.
cars, the little Renaults.
Oh, the little Renault
My,
cars. Mm.
yeah, my girlfriend had one. I used to love her car. That was a prep mobile. That's what we call them, prep mobiles. And she was a preppy chick, man. Her mom and daddy was had some money. Her mom and daddy lived over in Beverly. They had a little money,
Mm.
you know. And when her father found out where I stayed at, where I lived, he told her she can't talk to me because I was in a gang. I'm like, not in a
Oh,
gang.
oh.
I lived in
Lived
that
in the
area.
manor.
I'm like,
Lived in the manor.
wow, wow. So she didn't listen to her dad, of course. So, man, just growing up back in that time, man, just being going down on Rush Street.
Mm-hmm.
You put a tank of gas, you go around Rush Street 4 times, that was your night. Turn on BMX, you go down Rush Street 4 times, that was your night. From 10 to
That was your
3,
night.
that
That's
was your
it.
night.
That's it.
That was your night.
You didn't get out the car. You just drove
Nope,
and looking at
nope,
everybody driving slow.
nope.
Driving
Man,
slow.
everybody had on WBMX. Everybody down there had on BMX. So you could get out the car, park, and walk. You can hear BMX. You can hear
The
everything.
whole way. Absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
Man,
What
you
a
go,
time.
like I said, you go around there 4 times. That was your night because it used to be so packed down there during the summer. I mean, Darrin packed during the summer.
Just
It was just a good time.
pumping
It
the
wasn't
pump.
no foolishness, nobody fighting, nobody doing nothing stupid. Just we were just out having a good time as teenagers.
Hey, John Davis Jr., how are you? Welcome on in House Culture Conversations. We are just having a time, just hanging out with Disco Darren. Now, where did the name Disco Darren come from? Is that something you just coined
Okay.
for yourself, or is there history there?
o- Okay. Disco came from the times going to Mendel High School, coming to their parties. I came in the door. Remember, it used to be $5 at the door,
Mm-hmm.
$5. I come in the door dancing. I come in the door. We had that little line. I'm in the line. I'm getting it because I'm ready to go. Music banging, having a good time. Pay my $5, gone. So it was this girl. She used to try to talk to me. She's like, Darren, you come through the door. I can't catch up with you. You won't be still. And my buddies, we were all, man, we were just all over Mendel, man. We knew everybody. She said, she gave me the name Disco.
Mm.
Her name was Leanne. I don't know her name. Her name was Leanne. She went to Elizabeth Seton.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful girl. She said,
Mm-hmm.
man, man, I got the call, boy. Disco. That's
You
you.
just
Because
keep
you at the
moving.
door. You ready for the disco.
That's it.
So that held on with me all this time until I got on Twitch. I said, you know what?
Wow.
Huh. I'm going to use Disco Darren. Yeah. I got
That's
my buddies
it.
now who still call me Disco. What up, Disco? Because they
Hey,
remember.
I tell you what, it's so appropriate. Music lover, welcome on in. We see you. Shelly Thunder, thanks for vibing with us. We are having quite a time. Now, let's talk about this Mendel. And you went to Mount Carmel,
Okay, man, here
right?
you go. Come on, you ready to take the
No, no,
gloves
no.
off? Okay,
We don't
take the
have to.
gloves. I'm gonna take my
We want everybody to know we brothers first.
right,
We Catholic schools. We had our little, rivalries, but we were brothers first.
right.
That's Mount
Now,
Carmel, Leo, all these other things, and the fact that Mendel, had certain things going for them. Other schools had going for them. I mean, Mendel had the parties, but on sports sometimes,
mm,
I'll
I
let
don't
Derek
know
tell the
why.
story.
I don't know why your coach, I think it was Coach Green, whatever his name was, want to play Mount Carmel for your home for y'all's homecoming. I don't understand. I never understood. I never understood. My junior senior year, we want to play Mount Carmel for. I'm like, are you Coach? Let be like, okay. That was every year. I'm like, are you guys serious? You always had the fanfare going and all that going up the Gately, the fanfare. Man, I'm like, okay, they finna
The
get their
band
ass
was
whooped.
rocking. The band was rocking.
The band was rocking me. Y'all was jamming. From the kickoff, I remember that kickoff, my first and my junior year. You all went down and scored. I said, uh-oh. But D-Lot after that, after all the smoke had cleared, the final score was 62-7. I don't know what you all were doing. I never
I think he said
understood that.
62-7, ladies and gentlemen.
I never I had 5 interceptions in that game. I don't know if that dude knew me. He just throwing the ball to me. We was over there in Gately, man. It was, and you all
Oh,
always had the homecomings in like mid fall. It wasn't cold yet.
yeah, it
Playing
wasn't
over there in
cold, maybe
Gately.
early October somewhere.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
still nice out. We was
Mhm.
playing. I never understood. Now you all were good in basketball,
Yeah.
great in basketball. Football, no. So
Wait,
after
wait.
the homecoming, we
Football,
were
no.
football, no. But after the homecoming game, you all have your homecoming party. So we would oblige and we would have on our Mount Carmel jackets and come in your school and take your girls. We used to come in there, man, and everybody used to like these cats got some nerve. We had on remember the school jackets.
Oh yeah, that
Nobody,
was
nobody wears school
a
jackets
big
no more.
thing. Oh yeah, yeah.
Nobody wearing. We all had on our MC school jackets with our letters and everything on them, and
Hmm.
they already know that we whooped y'all that day. We beat y'all that day, and we come in there, man. We had a good time. We never had no trouble. I
No,
had one
no.
girl say, "You all didn't have to do that to us on our homecoming." I forgot that girl. She said, "We don't have to do you all didn't have to do that to us on our homecoming." I don't know what possessed Coach Green. I think his name was Green. He wanted to play us on you all's home. Man, he done better playing the Bears or somebody than
That's
playing
funny.
us.
Not the Bears. Yeah,
The Bears or somebody, man. Because it just wasn't that wasn't good look for y'all. That just wasn't a good look,
yeah.
you know.
Well, those are the things we look back on and reflect. Dream Maker Diva, welcome on in. Good to see you. We're in extra innings with the man himself, Disco Darrin. All right, Disco Darrin, tell us about the show.
Okay.
Coffee with
Coffee
Disco.
with disco. I was sitting down with my girl, Coleman Love. We were trying to figure out a show. Okay. Now before this even happened, I hit the live button. I was in my car leaving Ford, going to go get a haircut on a Saturday. Now I don't know. Everybody had all day to do what they want to do. Why you want to get out there at 5 o'clock and I got to be at the barber shop at 6 and want to act a fool on the Bishop Ford? I don't care, D Lot, any time of the day on the Bishop Ford, it's a damn accident. I don't care. So I'm driving, hit the live button. I said, I'm gonna go live. I hit it and put it up there, and I had 45 people in there. And people were
Mm.
laughing their ass because I forgot that I was live. I was having road rage. And people heard me cursing, and people were just having a I'm having a conversation too, but I'm cussing people out as I'm driving, and that's where it started. So I took a couple of weeks off. I said, okay, I need to figure out something for my show, something we can do for the show. So me and Sharice, we were sitting down. You like disco? I said, Disco Darrin, 1966. There you go, Disco Darrin, 1966. That's where it started from. My show My first show that I actually sat down and did it right upstairs in my kitchen, right upstairs. I was just doing my favorite places to go to get toppings at the time was Walmart. I don't
Mm.
know why I love Walmart. Walmart out here by me because I'm in Lansing, close to Indiana. It's
Mm.
it's characters out here. It's some characters out here. So I should go in Walmart just to see the people. Then I'll come back and I'll talk about it, different things. I didn't have my studio like I have now. So as the show got bigger and got bigger and bigger, um, I was doing my show one day and Jerome O came in. Jerome came in and he was like, every superhero needs his own theme music.
Mm.
I was like, he said, call me. I said, okay. So
Wait, hold on. I
we
gotta interrupt you because Chill
what?
Hill is putting a little extra on there. Disco
Yeah,
Derek sitting in his kitchen with his Gilligan hat on in the
yeah.
back.
I like my Gilligan hat, man. My man, I got a bunch of them now. I wear them a lot during the summer. I wear them a lot, man. My hat, my hat, my fishing hat, my LL hat. Yeah, doing my show, man. Doing my shows.
Now
So
talk about the show. Now you got your studio. The show has matured, and it
right,
for
right. Now let me
me.
tell you,
Go
Dila, let me tell you about how it really took a jump. I went to Jerome's
ahead.
place. we got somebody to do my first logos. That logo that you see that I had, let me show you this.
Hmm.
That logo right there,
Yep.
that was my very first logo. My very first logo. I had somebody do that logo. That was my very first Coffee with Disco logo. I use it all the time. That's my very first one that I ever had. His buddy did it for me. And my show went from to the kitchen. Then the next week we were in Jerome's studio on OBS.
Mm.
So now it took on a whole nother. Now I had a live DJ right next to me. Jerome, we should do the show from 10:30 to 11:30 every Tuesday morning, from 10:30 to 11:30 every Tuesday morning. Me and Jerome, and he played a song. I found a song by Air Power, "Welcome to the Disco."
Mm.
That is my not. And the people might not know Air Power because they only have 3 songs. That's all they have. And one of them was "Welcome to the Disco." For anybody that's ever been to my show when it's first starting, that's the song that you hear. "Welcome to the Disco." That's my opener. That is my opening song. And Jerome played it every opening. We would start the show like we always do. We start 15 minutes early to get people in the room. Then we go live on camera. Then I do the show. So that stuck with me with the 15-minute start. Cause my normally show doesn't start till 11:30, but I go live at 11:15 to get people in the room. I hate talking to an empty room. So I want people in the room. That's what I was told.
Hmm.
Um, it it just progressed from there. Jerome's work schedule changed.
Hmm.
I said, okay, I got to get my own studio. Went and bought my own lighting. Went and bought my MacBook. Got all my DJ equipment out. Hooked it up. Got my music. Now I have my own studio. Then I got a hold of people to do my logos and flyers. That's when it really started taking off. When I have my logos, my show logos, uh, that 326 that you see on
Hmm.
there, you know what that's the music box. My man, Tone Love did that for me. 'Cause Tone Love's from Chicago as well. He donated the 326 to my uh cause. I'm gonna put it in the chat room real quick so you all can see that 326.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we're getting to see where this thing came from.
That's it right there, that 326.
Yes,
That
yes.
is that is 326 North Michigan Avenue. That is the address for the music box.
Did not know that.
326
Didn't put
North
that together.
Michigan Avenue. 326. When you tell somebody, man, you know what 326 mean? Yeah, people know what it means. 326.
Those
So
that
that's
know, know. Those that know,
right.
know.
And I have my music box logos and all that different stuff, the box and everything. And that's where, that's how the then the whole show took on a whole different thing. I used to do my own topics. One day I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna let the chat room pick topics. Huh. Let's see how so I did that. I used to do it with numbers, pick numbers.
Hmm.
I don't know if anybody remembers that. I used to do, okay, I'm thinking of a number 1 to 50. And we'd be on there for 10 minutes trying to get the numbers. My moms knew the number. They knew it, but they just didn't know. Now Sandra Radiate is my day one. She was my first subscriber
Sandra Radiate, welcome
to my
on
channel.
in. Welcome on in.
Sandra has
That's
been with me for
special.
3 years
That's special
since I've
right
been
there.
streaming.
Mm.
Carmen has been with me for almost 3 years. Coleman Love has been with me for 3 years. A lot of people have been with me for a long time since I've been streaming. And the show has gotten bigger, 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 and bigger. Once I started implementing different segments into my show, um, I have Just Ask Disco, where people send me in stuff to, you know, that's dedicated. Just Ask Disco. That part is dedicated to my Uncle D, My Uncle D was very instrumental in my life, although my father was, my Uncle D was as well. I tell people, and people think I was joking. My Uncle D was a pimp. I'm not as He was a real pimp. Although he worked at Ford Motor Company, my Uncle D was a pimp. That's what he did on the side. And people don't believe me when I say that, but that's what he was.
Right, right. They chuckle a little bit like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, no, but that's what he
For real.
was. I mean, I remember going down on 43rd, a place called Chili Mac, and he should take me down to this place. My mother never knew this till later. Take me down here, give me a couple of dollars. There's some other kids up front, buy food, play the games. The guys went in the back, and that's where all the players was, in the back. So yeah, I got a chance to meet some of them players. I was a little shorty then. I was
You're
a little
shorty
bitty
there,
cat.
but you got to meet the players. You got to see.
I got to meet the players and the
Mm.
pimps with the Cadillacs and the Mercedes. My uncle had a Benz. My uncle always drove Mercedes. He always said, "Nephew, be different, stand out, be different, do your thing, stand out, don't blend in with the crowd, stand out."
Now, I tell
And
you
that
what,
has
that's
stuck
good
with me.
advice. That's good advice because the Coffee with Disco show truly stands out. Now, I wanted to take a moment because I think what you guys talk about is very interesting and relevant. You guys
Hmm.
talk about relationships. You
Yes, we
guys
do.
talk about in a relationship, are the bills split 50-50, or should the man
Right,
be bearing the burden of all the bills? What's the
right.
woman's responsibility? And I mean, that conversation gets
That
very,
conversation get a lot of rotation, man. I mean, my thing, D-Lo, from how I was raised and how it is in my household, I handle 70% of the bills. So since I make the most money in the household, my responsibility is to make sure the mortgage is paid, the lights is paid, the gas, and the water bill. Like those are four of the major bills. Four. So when my wife comes home, when she comes home, put the key in the door, door opens up. When she hit the light switch, lights come on. She turn that stove on, gas come on. She hit that water, turn that water faucet, the water comes on. She go out and put garbage, it ain't garbage everywhere. That's my job. That's a man's job, and 50-50 is for roommates.
mm,
That's how I was raised. 50-50 is for roommates. That's a man's job to take care 70%, the major stuff the man's supposed to take. But I had a topic where what happens if the lady makes the bulk of the money and the
mm,
man, now the fellas, if we make the bulk of the money, we drive what we want. Our wife can drive what she wants as well. Now I flipped that. I said, ladies, if you made, I think I put like, ladies, if you made 150,000 and your husband made 70,000, can he drive the same kind of Mercedes that you drive? You should have seen the lady say, no, he cannot. He need to get a car in his budget. But when it was flipped, the guys were like, if my wife want to drive a Benz like I got, she can get it. But
mm-hmm.
the lady said, no, 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 no. You got to stay within his budget. I'm like, wow. Wow. It was
Hmm.
amazing what they say. I'm like, are you all serious? They will not budge on that. If he don't make enough money, he need to stay within his budget. But you all can buy stuff, and what's the big deal? So we don't talk about race. That is a hot topic. Race, religion, politics, or LGBTQ. Those are hot topics. Delight, if I hit on any one of those topics, I can either expand my chat room the next week or have nobody in my chat room because you don't know who you're going to offend. You
Well,
know,
the chat is chiming in. As a woman, I disagree with that. LOL. And then I guess he can get a scooter.
see that? See that?
Uh,
See Shelly Thunder said they both can have the same type of car. Shelly Thunder, would you please cut that out? It's almost sunny. You in here telling a tale. You you in here telling tales. Shelly not gonna go for that. Shelly make 150 grand, and here I can hear the guy come with 50. He want to ride like she ride. She not gonna do that. That means she gonna have to help him pay some of that bills. Help
yeah.
him pay some of that car note. That's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, I tell you what, this is just a sample, just scratching the surface of the kind of things
Right.
we talk about on Tuesday. But I got to tell you, sometimes what you hear and see in the chat can really change your perspective. And I think that's
Right.
what you're doing is broadening people's mindsets, having
Right.
a good time doing it, and putting it in an environment where people don't feel threatened. And I love
Right.
that you kind of have ground rules and everybody respects
Right.
them. I really
Right.
appreciate that about the show. If we coming up on an hour, we're gonna have to land this plane and let these people go party with their Saturday night. As we close out, Dan, where do you see the culture going? What things, with your show and the things you've learned and you're seeing, what messages
hmm
do you have as we kind of close this thing out?
For my show, I used to, I had aspirations of being a partner. I applied, I got denied. Of course, everybody hits that little rut. It's no big deal now. My mentors here on Twitch, DJ Chaotic, one of
Mm,
my mentors. Chaotic. Um, I got a couple more mentors. Um, um, my mind's going everywhere around it because everybody, I'm just one of my mentors. Chaotic is one of my mentors, and Chaotic telling me, man, just make sure stay true to your job. DJ Vader Mix is one of my mentors. Vince Adams.
mm,
I can call any one of them three guys right now if I have an issue and talk to them. Because when I got denied for partner, I wanted to stop streaming. I said, Darrin, don't let that defeat you. Your show is no. Do not stop your show. My moms were like, if you stop this show, we're going to kill you. My mom said, we are going to kill you. Because I was ready to give it up. Just said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to. No, you're not. You're going to sit your ass in front of that camera and you're going to do the show. And when I get denied, I'm a kind of person, I like stuff right now. I've been like that all my life. So when I got denied, I was like, I didn't want to, I didn't want to stream no more. And Chaotic saw the difference in my show when that happened. He saw the difference. He called me and he said, Darrin, I know you got denied, but I can see the difference in your show. You watching numbers and all that stuff. Stop that. Just do your show.
hmm
Do your show. I
Yeah.
know Twitch is slowed down now, but my numbers are good. Twitch is slowed down because everything is opening back up. And that's why I do my show once a week. I don't do it every day because I would run out of stuff to talk about. I would. Once a week is good for my show because people, if they miss the show, people like, damn it, I missed the show. But
Yeah.
if you come on every day, people are not in so much of a rush to get in to see it because okay, I'll catch them tomorrow. I'll catch them the next day.
Right.
That's
Right.
why I come on one day a week,
And
and you
that's
got to
on
get in there.
Tuesdays,
Tuesdays.
11:30 Central Time.
Hold on, let me drop. Let me drop this. Let me drop it in there for you, D-Lot. Hold on.
Absolutely,
See if
absolutely.
I can find
Hey,
it here.
Sandra Radiator, appreciate the bitch. Dreammaker Diva, thanks for putting the spotlight on that. We appreciate that so very much, and all the love and support as we have been hanging out, and we have been extra innings, but it's been a blast. SpongeBob Dave, I see you. We need a part two with Disco Darrin 1966. And
There it is, right there. That's the schedule. And this Tuesday, guys, I'm having my birthday stream Tuesday morning on my channel. I'm going to have people in studio. I was going to invite D-Law, but D-Law live in.
Florida.
Well, I thought you were here. I
Yeah,
don't know why I thought you was here.
yeah. No, I've been down here for about 15 years now.
Okay.
But you know,
And
Chicago's still home. I'm there a lot during the year. I get back as often as I can. So people think that a lot. So
yeah, man. So you know how to get a hold of me now. You know how to get a hold of me.
yes.
So I'm having a birthday stream. I'm having a 3-year anniversary and birthday stream Tuesday morning. This Tuesday coming.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna have people in the studio. I'm gonna have the phone lines open. I have a phone line patched right into the soundboard, so you guys can call and chit chat. We're gonna be doing having conversation like we do. We're just gonna be having a ball. We're gonna have a good time on Tuesday. I mean, I don't know normally celebrate a birthday, but it is what it is, and it just happens to fall on a Tuesday when I'm do the show. So March 12th is my birthday. I will be. I don't know. Should I say how old I'll be? I will be 58
Well,
years old.
yeah, because I was going to say you got
Yeah,
1966. I mean,
yeah. I will be 58 years old. I know I may
yeah.
not look 58, but I've been playing football all these years, man. And yeah, yeah. We'll get into that, D. We got to do another one, man. We got to do because we
Yeah,
didn't
we,
even touch the surface on nothing, did we? We only hit like 2 questions, maybe, if
but
that.
I tell you what, we can feel that your love for the culture. We can feel your, just your understanding of the history and the importance
Right,
of what we're doing and how important it is to preserve the culture and then share these stories and keep them forward. So, as we talked before the show, we're going to have to find other things to collaborate around, maybe do
right,
some kind of event or something. But right
right,
now, we're going to let people party out.
right.
I see is a DJ Dope Soul. I hope that's the way it is, Dream Maker Diva, because I'm gonna hit the button and get that raid queued up. Disco Dan, this has been something else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna do it again, D. I want to, man. If you get a chance, brother, call in on Tuesday. If you're not in the chat room, we'll chat some more if you
Yes,
got time.
yes,
Because I
yes.
will have the line over. You got my direct number to me, so you can call me direct. I have a show number, but you have my hotline number if you need to talk to me. You got the hotline, brother.
Yes, yes. All right, I'm trying to get this DJ Dope Soul as we always do. Let's see, let's see. Try that again. Dream Maker Diva, it's not letting me get there. Okay. Thank you. All right. We are going to go over to DJ Dope Soul and party with him for a little bit. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Darren, hold on 1 second. Let's
All
see if
right, sir.
that works. Sandra Radiate, you are most welcome. And everybody
Everybody
else,
have a good evening, man.
this has
See you
been
guys
fun.
on Tuesday mornings.
That's a
I will see you guys on Tuesday.
Tuesday morning. We celebrating Darren's birthday. So, make a note and come on out. And with that, we are sending you over to party with DJ Dope Soul. If you're on Twitch, you are gone now. Everybody else, we'll see you next time.